Hello family. It's been so long since I made a video. I've been wanting to come back, but unfortunately, let me turn my brightness up. Okay. So, unfortunately, I've been going through a lot of stuff. A lot of personal stuff. So, I haven't been able, I was able to come back. I just didn't, I just wasn't in the right state. Honestly. And like when I left off making videos, this what all kicked it off. When I left off making videos, I came outside one morning and I was like, dude, where's my car? And my car wasn't nowhere to be found. Now, if anybody know me, you already know. The car is my livelihood, so I pretty much didn't appreciate that, and it just was a downhill spiral from there. So still, even into that situation is still affecting me up until this day. I was going around the corner, around the block. I was going places looking for that car. I know I didn't park. I looked in front of the house. I'm like, I know I parked right here because there wasn't no glass or nothing on the ground. It was crazy. So I'm like, maybe the tow people got it. Maybe the city got it. Call the city. They don't have it. I go around around the whole block looking in places I know I did not park looking for that car. That car was gone. Somebody had stole it. Okay, so now that happened to what, July? I just not seen it until November. So, and they had banged it up. I had to file a police report and everything, and they had banged it up pretty bad. It was terrible, honestly. And I don't even understand how you get into an accident where you hurt the front and the back and the sides. Like, is this a bumper car or something? I don't know. Maybe it's a bumper car, and I didn't know because I could have been bumping around. As soon as I look at something, it'll get a dent in it. But anyways, so things just kind of like spiral from there. And when I start getting the attitude, usually I just stop doing what I'm doing. Bad trait, but this was true. And that was one part of it. The second part is sometimes when I'm going down the path that I probably shouldn't, or I'll say that I need to be very conscious about, and the decisions I'm making or what I'm involving myself in, the Most High will literally stop what I'm doing. Okay? And I can't explain it, but now I'm getting better where I know this stuff is going to come, and I knew it was coming for me. Regardless of whether somebody had stole a car or whatever. But I knew it was coming for me because I was kind of delving my hands in something. I ain't going to say that I should not, but at this point, I know that I was supposed to be aware of digging a hole that I probably wouldn't be able to come back from. And that's probably not making no sense because I'm not giving too many details. But sometimes you can involve yourself in stuff that you can't get out of. Or let's say you can get out of, but the digger you dig the hole, the higher the wall it is to climb out. Sort of situation. Right? If you choose to go rob a bank, now it's going to be easy to go in there and, it's going to be easy to do it. And let's say you don't get away when you get out. Like, you dig the hole that the climbing out is impossible. Impossible. It's impossible to climb out that type of hole. So you see what I'm saying? So, and there's other places in life where this happens, but it's kind of more covert and hidden. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't see it. And so the Most High has his way of dealing with me where when I'm about to fall into one of these pits or I'm digging one myself, usually I'm digging the pit, that he'll come and divert my attention, and then I'll pay attention to something else. And then when I'm looking at something else, I can see clearly of what this other thing is. So anyway, that was one of the things, and it was something else that he wanted me to pay attention to. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, real quick. And y'all, there's some shocking things going on in this world. I think I'm going to put this on my podcast too, because this is where I need to be speaking about it at. And I haven't done my podcast either. That's because I wanted dealing with the people that stole my car. Now I have to move. So since I was in the middle of moving, or I'm still going to be moving next month, but being in the middle of moving, I don't want to buy anything new like computers, microphones and stuff like that, just to have to pack it up and take it to another place. I'm really not trying to do that. So I've been trying to avoid that. And I really need, when I listen to the quality of the podcast, sometimes I like it, but sometimes I don't. And I just rather have we ain't got to be the best quality, but a little bit better quality when it comes to the videos and the podcast, especially the podcast. With a video, you can get away with anything, but with a podcast, probably not. Just like with a video, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing something, if you're showcasing something, and can't nobody see it because you taping at 240, well, it's not going to work then for what it is that you're trying to do. But if you blogging and vlogging, you can get away with a little bit more. So anyway, like I was saying, it's a lot of things going on in this world, and I believe that that's why, of course, the Most High always wants him to be the focus of your attention so you don't miss anything. Because as soon as you look away, something else is going on. And matter of fact, it never even stops. When you stray away from him, whatever else is going on in the background is still going on. Matter of fact, it's building and it's worse than it was when you left it. That's what I noticed. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying this. So my sister had told me, my sister is a nature girl. I'm more of I like the idea of nature. I love herbs. I would love to be like in the middle of nowhere planting stuff and stuff like that. But she is the true nature one. She the one gonna walk in those woods. And obviously, as much as I love herbs and stuff, I'm not gonna do that. It's not happening. Like every time I go past the woods, I get a creepy vibe. My hair starts standing up and stuff like this, especially when I'm somewhere near what I call the skinny trees. I since found out that they was pine trees, but every time I would go around these trees, I would feel a certain type of way. Like I get anxiety. I get very uneasy. I cannot stand it. Okay. But I was just thinking that it was a black thing, to be honest, because majority of us don't like the woods, and majority of us, our hair stand up. Our hair stands up for the same thing, like majority, as a race. As a race, we know what to stay away from. Danger ain't cool. That creepy feeling up your spine, I feel like we more sensitive to danger. And once you feel it, it's hard to ignore. And I see why, because it's hard to ignore. I love the idea of nature, but you can't pay me to do it because to go out in the woods, because the feeling is overwhelming to me. Now my sister, she that one. She'll go out in the woods, take a walk by herself and all this stuff. Okay, so my sister was going. Which one should I say first? Okay, so my sister, I'll tell my sisters first. She was telling me that she had been hearing strange noises in the woods. And I tell her, of course, I'm always telling her, don't be going back there in them bushes. Don't go in them trees, girl. What's wrong with you? Why do you like walking in these trees where can't nobody see you? Like, just, I cannot. So she telling me that she hearing all these weird noises in the woods and stuff, and I already don't like it. So I'm telling her, girl, you better stop. You better stop going up in the woods. Crazy people up in there. You don't know what's going on in the woods, okay? So we gonna fast forward. She kept saying this, and then it came back to me, something that had happened. So which I never really even stopped thinking about, but a couple years ago, I'm driving at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'm out and I'm Ubering. So I get a reserve ride, and this reserve ride was for like $100 with just one ride. So I'm gonna stay the extra. I think I had to wait like 40-50 minutes before I even had to go pick the person up, because obviously it's an airport ride. So I had to wait a minute, which means I wasn't going to go back to the house because I was already like 30-40 minutes from my house. And so from my position, I was only probably like 30 minutes away from them, right? So if I'd have came home, that's an hour, which I didn't waste it just by turning around anyway. So I decided to stay out. I remember the rides, the rest of the last couple of rides that I had after that one had came through and everything. So I head towards the ride, and when I'm getting close, right, I make a right down this dark street, no street lights whatsoever. My lips look mighty chapped. So I make a right turn down this street. Now this street didn't have no lights once or ever, okay? But that didn't bother me, That didn't bother me. But what did is when I pulled up, and then all of a sudden like 20, 30 deer just took off running. They just going back and forth, and I'm like, not back and forth, they just going forth, okay? Let's be clear. They not going back and forth. They only going forward. They not looking back. And I done lived around deer a lot. I've never seen nothing like that. As a matter of fact, I've never been on a deer with lights on it and seen deer react like that. They didn't pay attention to me. They kept on going. It looked like they was frightened. They was scared of something. But what that something was, I don't know. Oh, but actually I did know. Because before the deer start running across the street, I looked over to the left, and something hairy stepped in. It stepped out and stepped back in. So I'm like, what kind of bear is this? Right? Or Bigfoot. Hold on, y'all. So anyway, y'all, I was moving so this lady can park. So she took off anyway. But anyway, so when that thing stepped in and out the woods, I was like, wow, they running from that thing. And what was the crazy part was that the thing just stood right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm terrified at this point, because I'm like, oh my goodness, is this bear thing gonna wait till I go by and like rush the car or something? So I'm like, I'm scared as H word. So what I do was I put the car in reverse. I looked out the window and I'm like, man, I think I can drive good, but I wasn't going to be able to do this because the strip was too long. It was a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? And it was too long for me to take a chance on bagging out all the way back. Mind you, in the pure darkness. When I looked at my rearview mirror, I did not see anything but my lights. I did not see nothing. So I was like, man, I can't back up. I have to go forward. So, because I didn't know where all these skinny trees was, and it was skinny trees. Now, where all these skinny trees was, I didn't know whether it was a cliff or not, because I found that out the hard way. Sometimes those trees look like they sitting on land or something, but to people that's not used to nature, I guess. But usually, sometimes it could be a big cliff, 6, 7, 8, 10-foot drops, and you'll just drop down it and you won't know what happened. So I didn't want to back for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. So anyway, this thing standing right there pretending that it's hiding, but I'm sitting here looking like, I see you, girl, or I don't know what you're doing, but you got these deer freaked out. They won't even stop. I got my headlights right, and usually I could be in the middle of a block and a deer is at the end of the block. A deer will come out, a deer will stop and look at you. Now, how come did not one deer stop when I literally can get out the car and touch him? I'm right there. However far it was from the hood, to me, that's the space that we had. They right here in front of the car. And they just going. Coming, just running. I'm like, these deer is terrified. So now I'm terrified because I looked out the rear view. I don't see nothing. And then I went into my phone because my anxiety is building, okay? This thing standing right here, I see it. So I get in my phone don't got no signal. And I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm crying inside. I had inner tears. I had inner tears, and they was on their way out. Because I was scared. Oh, I cannot tell you how scared I was. Because I'm thinking the worst, like, even when the deer stop, I'm scared for even when the deer stop, is it gonna just take one of these deers and just snatch it up or something like in front of my face or throw it at the car? I don't know, but all this crazy stuff is running through my head. I'm thinking that it's waiting for me though. When I go past it, that it's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? Make me have an accident. I don't know whether it's a bear or not. I never did see no face. Only thing I seen was legs. I didn't see no face. All I seen was some huge legs. And wow. I get the deer finally finished, and I hold my breath, and I just press the gas, okay? I pressed the gas quick as I could. I held my breath, I'm praying, and then my phone popped back into service, and I went the rest of the way to the house. When I pulled up to the house that I was supposed to be getting to, tell me why it was another driver there. And they was like, who are you? And I'm like, I got sent here. She was like, I got sent here. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm out here, I'm scared to death. That's when I really had tears starting to weld up and come out of my eyes, because I ain't even had to do this. Now I ain't even got the ride either. I didn't even care about the ride though. The lady was like, yeah, it's scary back up in here. She was like, it's scary back up in here. She was like, just follow me out. I was like, my phone has stopped working and everything. And now I think about it, I kind of believe that I think I know what happened. Okay? But I'm gonna leave that for another talk, I guess, of ours, because that was shocking within itself when I started to hear people saying this, because that's one time where this happened to me. Okay, but anyway, let's jump back on the story. So when I first moved out of state, one of my worst things that I thought that I didn't do, besides just running and leaving, I was young and I just ran and left without being prepared. But the second thing that I was so upset that I didn't prepare for was when I moved to a different city and they have different animals. I do not care for that, okay? When I moved here, it was like this particular type of bug, and I call it the thousand legs. And it's like a centipede on steroids. You know what and I hate, and they run real fast, and it look like almost like feathers running. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stand that little thing right there. And it seemed like when I had moved, that's when the first time I had heard of bed bugs. When I moved to this city, like where I had came from, we heard of bed bugs, but we didn't know that it was a real thing. Or I say I know bed bugs was a real thing. I know that they said don't let the bed bugs bite, but I never had no clue that they was real. Never had no clue that a bed bug was real. Never heard nobody say that they had one. Nothing like that. Until I moved up here. And it was a bed bug epidemic, seemed like. I'm like, oh my gosh. What did I do to myself by not researching? This is what I said. Next time I leave here, I'm going to research the bugs and everything that's in that environment, because it might be like if you go to Nevada, it's going to be scorpions. You know what I'm saying? I think that's Nevada that got scorpions. You know, when different places it's going to be different critters, different animals, whatever. So I had looked in Alabama. I forgot what city that was. I think it's the city my family is from. But anyway, I looked down there, and it seemed like they got 100 different types of snakes. It's just literally too many for me. It's just too many. Some people might not move to California for earthquakes. Okay? Now, when I moved up here, it was a flood, new bugs, bed bugs. Okay? And then on top of that, it was a sinkhole all in the same year. Then on top of that, rides had broke down at the fair. I was like, oh my gosh. You got to pay attention to where you moved to. So it was at that point where I looked and made sure that it wasn't no this silly, y'all, but I had to go make sure it wasn't no moose up here running around. You know, I'm looking like, next thing you know, I'm gonna be going down the street and I'm gonna see a moose going past me. Okay, so I was like, this man out here singing. I'm like, let me go look at these animals up here and make sure I ain't got to worry about nothing else. I don't want it. Next time I leave here, when I leave here, I'm going to make sure that I do my proper research on the animals that's around. So, since I felt like that and I had already did my research on Wisconsin, I knew that it wasn't no bears. That's why I had said it was a Bigfoot in my mind while I was driving that night, because I had already knew it wasn't no bears down here. Ain't no bears down in Milwaukee. Ain't no bears here. So I ain't saying it's impossible, but I'm saying like it's gonna be rare. Super rare. Okay? Super rare. Okay? So that's a little piece of the story, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. And that's where the Most High took my attention next. And I literally been looking into this for months, and I have found out some very shocking things pertaining to this subject. And it's just some important stuff that y'all need to know. Everybody ain't gonna believe it, but you better beware. You better beware. That thing is real. You don't believe me? Go research it. But the thing is real. But I'm gonna make a whole nother video specifically only about that. And I'm gonna show you and give you and provide some links and stuff to where you can go, where you can look, some videos that you can see. Okay? But I'm gonna try to format that a little bit better, structure it out, so I'll know where I want the videos and pictures and stuff that, and you know what I'm saying, and put a small case together for y'all. Because we need to be aware. Some of y'all don't even know that the Most High exists. Some of y'all don't even know He exists. That boggles me. I don't see how you can't see it. It's very obvious. It's very obvious to me. But anyway, y'all. So this video, 26 minutes already. But I am going to be doing a video going in on this subject a little bit deeper, because it's something that everybody, I'll just say it like this, and this ain't no, I don't see how it could be a racist comment, but I ain't gonna say all of them know, but majority of black people don't know this. But luckily, we got the spidey senses on deck, because even if we didn't know about it, our hair had already told us. You know what I'm saying? We had already found out. Like, we get a little zap of anxiety when we go next to stuff that we ain't got no business doing. Luckily, we got that built-in system. But I don't know if we know. Some of us going into the woods. I ain't. Oh, sorry, these windshield wipers probably been doing this whole time. Why y'all ain't say nothing? But anyway, y'all, next time I do a video, we gonna go in a little bit deeper, hopefully. And this video is dark. I don't know what. It's getting dark outside. Yeah, y'all, I had got a little depressed after my car was stolen. Y'all know I like to do video. Look, I'm in the car right now. But I like to do videos in my car. I like to get away, come outside, and do a video in the car. And when I lost it, I had other stuff was happening on top of that. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. But anyway, y'all, I'll be back. I'm going to try to have a more structured video. Even if I just come in and say hi, I'll do that. My birthday is Monday. On Monday, I'll be 36 years old. I'm old. Almost 40. But anyway, y'all. Oh, yeah, I want to tell y'all, too. I'm going to be starting a resellers channel. Because I am so far into reselling now, y'all. Like, it don't even make sense. So, if you don't see me on this channel, you'll probably catch me on the other channel. I haven't started it yet. But I'll probably get that going between tonight and tomorrow. And once I do, whenever I do, I'll drop the link will be in the description box anyway. So make sure you go check that out, because I am really loving it. And I'm starting in on the entry level. So if you come and you start the videos with me, you're going to see like the progression. I love watching the progression of somebody or something. So you're going to see the progression. Like, I'm only a month in. I done learned a lot already. So it's important for me that I go ahead and start documenting. You know, I like these little videos. So it's important that I start documenting as early as possible. I'd have been shopping already, though, like 10 times. So I'll probably just, with my first video, just show you some of the stuff that I got. Show you some pictures of some of the stuff that I done sold already. Some of the stuff that I done came across. What they are. Probably give you a little bit on, I ain't gonna say how much it's worth, but how much I'm trying to get for it, because I ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? But I have dipped off into there. I'm still selling the tea. If you look into the description box, get you my favorite products is the NRG. Gives you energy instead of drinking some coffee instead of energy drinks. You can have the NRG. I'm still I got some coffee. Still got the coffee, NutriBurst, the detox tea, all that stuff, okay? My other favorite product is the resolution drops. Keeps your hunger down, and the stuff work for real. I'll put a little picture in the video of it. The stuff work for real, y'all. So I'm still doing that too, okay? And give up. I especially had to find another hustle when my car got taken, because I just only was doing the tea, okay? So anyway, I'm talking a lot, blabber in my mouth. I'll see y'all in another video. I ain't gonna make no promises because I don't want to not keep them. Okay? So I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one. Peace.